What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so I'm going to put a link to this article in the pinned comment in the comment section below. There are a lot of things about today's game that I can't stand. The gross proliferation of the three-point shot. I didn't mind the three-point shot and actually found it very exciting when there was a balance between post, mid-range, and the outside game. But now everything's about the outside game, and it's quite boring, if you ask me. It's boring. To young, full of cum fans, you know what I'm saying, under 18, maybe they find this exciting because this is what they've grown up on. But for someone like me, where, in my lifetime, there were teams that hardly even took the shot in the 80s. There were some teams in the early 80s that may have taken 53s total in the season. Now you have both teams combining on average to take 70, 80, 90. This past All-Star game, 120, 122? 123 three-point attempts were taken. That sucks. The load management sucks. Players missing games when they could be playing. The apathy of players toward fans. Sometimes you could just tell these guys are playing for the money. They don't care a damn thing about the fans. The fans can go to hell. These are all things that are what's wrong with the game today. The lack of defense is another thing. Okay? With all the rules of handicapped defenders, it's awful watching such a one-sided affair. And then you want me to praise these guys for scoring 60 and 70 points when, in reality, would they be putting up these numbers 20 years ago, 30 years ago? I don't fucking think so. But you can't handicap defensive players and then be this atrocious in calls. So what I'm referring to is, you can clearly see right here that James Harden has committed an offensive foul against Kristaps Porzingis. I think prior to this play, he pushed off, right? This possession, he elbows him. Clearly elbows him to get position. That's an offensive foul. Guess what they call? A foul on Porzingis for Harden to shoot 2 free throws. This is what's wrong with the NBA today. Some of the officiating is absolutely atrocious. Now, I know that they called this particular horrible call out on social media last night, but we've seen this all season. One player who should be shooting even more free throws than what he is? Giannis. I've seen Giannis be abused by teams going to the basket. Abused. Elbowed. Pushed. All types of illegal, illicit contact. No fouls. Now, he leads the NBA, I believe, with free throw attempts per game. But he should be shooting even more. The same way Wilt should have shot even more free throws than he did. But this is a problem, man. This is the problem. And sometimes, it's not even necessarily bad calls that are mistaken. It's bad calls that are intentional. Sometimes, man, these officials, they're instructed to give the stars the calls. And they will see, in my opinion, that it's a bad call, but they'll call it anyway. Because I think they're instructed from the league office to look out for the star players. Have you noticed that players almost never foul out today? Isn't that kind of strange considering that you can't play defense anymore, so every little thing should be a foul and the game is faster paced? You know, you can't get away with as much physical contact as you once did. And I believe that's because they don't want their best players to be sitting on the bench in the fourth quarter. But at the end of the day, this is another thing that's wrong with the NBA today, man. There's another thing that's wrong with the NBA. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's making the NBA lose credibility. You know, just sucks, man. It just sucks. You know, it's not just James Harden. You know, he has the tricks. Don't get me wrong. James Harden has those 50-50 tricks. He knows those. But this ain't one of those 50-50 tricks. This is an obvious offensive foul. You know, I'm going to tell you another thing that I hate. I hate when they bail out players. Like, a guy could be having an awful shooting night, and there is marginal contact from the defender when a player shoots, and there's no foul call. But the official waits to see if the shot goes in. Then all of a sudden they blow the whistle. I cannot stand that shit. If you saw the foul, why didn't you call it when you saw it? Don't call it to bail out the fucking offense. Don't bail out Devin Booker because he's 4-19 from the floor and the Suns are down by 10 in times running out. And he fires up some fucking awful low field goal, low efficiency 3-point attempt. But because his foot got in contact with the defender, a la Reggie Miller, a la Karl Malone, you want to bail this motherfucker out. So yeah, just want to talk about that. Tell me what you guys think.